Hello, Andrew. We can. Oh, there we go.
Shut up. Starts just as we get going.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Valentine's. We have a hot man here with us.
Oh,
We're gonna put you in the middle, Andy. There you go.
I'm in the middle. So it's like
happy Valentine's Day, I guess.
Happy Valentine's Day, nerds. Happy Love Day to everyone.
We're here. We're celebrating. Let us know, Meghan Small, if you're going to do your live later so we can tell these beautiful people now.
Oh, I haven't figured it out yet. So, I mean, you got to give me more than 5 minutes.
Send us the link on the group chat. That way we can pop in and say hi for your wonderful news.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So how are you guys? Meghan Small, what have you been up to? I've seen you've been the rage on Twitter. And you actually were, you're trying to give Lemonada, which is that very pathetic thing Meghan Markle is on, advice on how to get followers, because on X.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. Apparently, it looks like I've got more followers on Twitter than Lemonada Media, which is quite interesting. But yeah, Meghan Markle should have reached out to one of us to help her set up a podcast or something. She would have made more money going into her own pockets than doing work for someone else. But I don't know, man. Apparently, she's the world's most influential woman, so we should look up to her.
You know, it's so funny that after they announced that, they didn't get very many subscribers, followers on X. They got like less than 1,000.
Yeah. They were at 8,800, and then they got to 10. I saw that.
She's no Cristiano Ronaldo, that's for sure.
They're not even on the same spectrum, darling. They're not even on the same.
She probably does think so in her head, though.
Oh, she probably thinks she's better than him in her head.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that's an interesting concept. The way this woman thinks.
Nobody can touch Cristiano. Cristiano is sacred in this channel. Hello.
What were you saying, Andrew?
That's an interesting concept, though, to think what she actually thinks of herself. You know, we haven't actually ever asked anyone that, because I don't know. I know it's such an interest. It's an inside her mind. But I think that's an interesting thought. Like, what does this woman really see herself as?
Clearly, she thinks that she is Queen Turd of Turd Town. Like, she thinks she's better than the queen. She thinks that she is better than the king. She thinks that she has a moral capacity to be preaching to everyone about how to live their lives.
Yes.
When realistically, who was Meghan Markle before she married Harry? Nobody. Call girl.
Escort, yachter.
I mean, nobody knew of her before Harry. And then she trips and falls on this idiot's dick, and she thinks that she knows everything about the world.
One night of fun.
You know, by the way, since you've been ousted, somebody wished happy birthday. I didn't know if we could say it on live. So happy birthday, Meghan Small. Today, girl is feliz cumpleaños, mi amor. Felicidades. I'm not going to put you through to my singing because that would be torture. But happy birthday, gorgeous.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone in the chat, too. I see Alicia, it's her birthday and wedding anniversary. So happy birthday and wedding anniversary to you. What did you do? You let your husband get away for quick on that one, right? Do the wedding and anniversary, everything on the same day. It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right?
You know, Andrew, you guys were thinking about it because if you read their website, it's really incredible in their inside and their heads that's how they truly see themselves. Don't you think, guys?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Look at their write-ups. Look at their bios. And even if you look throughout the website too, you know how the Queen, it was stated that they couldn't use their HRH titles?
Mm-hmm.
Within the website, if you read through it, it is peppered with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, but it's actually spelled out like fully. So I don't know, thinking, okay, I'm just putting myself in Meghan's brain. If I was Meghan Markle, was she thinking that, oh, the Queen said we couldn't use the HRH letters, but if I spell it out, I can use the entire title?
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Am I wrong here?
No, she would do something like that, some kind of like technicality, so that way she could get around the rule. It would definitely be something like that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
But guys, I've been talking about a lot on my channel, and I get so much backlash for that because I've been pointing out that Harry and Meghan Markle have been using the Duke and Duchess of Sussex from the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for a long time. The fact that they're using on their website is the lesser of all evils, because Rachel Meghan Markle wrote to Congress, not as an American citizen, Rachel Meghan Markle, but as the Duchess of Sussex from the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And there was no backlash. People didn't even bat their eye twice. This is as bad as, for example, having a senator send a letter to Parliament, to the UK Parliament, talking about their policies from the office of the senator of Arizona or, California to the Parliament of the UK. We want you to do this and you want you to do that. That's unheard of. And she's been getting away with that. When she sat on that nasty, skanky bench with Harry, of all people, after he said that the First Amendment is bunkers, they sat on that bench and they advocated for voting in the United States. I can understand Rachel Meghan Markle as an American citizen doing it, but not the Duchess of Sussex. And I've been branding about it. And look at this, guys, because this was in Vancouver. Remember that travesty of hockey game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at the Royal Crest. Look at the Royal Crest.
Don't forget that it was on Autism Awareness Night too.
Mm-hmm.
So they overshadowed the fact that the Canucks and the people that go to the games raised over $2 million for autism awareness for the Canucks Fund that night. And all of that got overshadowed over their stupid faces.
Yeah. What do you think? And look at this, Andrew. What do you think of this? I thought, and I did a video about it, I said they're testing the waters, because as I've been through, I don't know if you guys know that I wasn't in a very abusive relationship. And abusive people test the waters and push their boundaries all the time until they are, you stop them. Harry and Meghan Markle have not been stopped, so they are only escalating. They tested the waters when they supported Biden, and they did that thing. When Meghan wrote to Congress, when she phoned Congress women as the Duchess of Sussex, not as a concerned citizen, Rachel Meghan Markle, but as the Duchess of Sussex from the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have the letter here, guys. I mean, if you think I'm full of shit, here it is. The Duke and Duchess, the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, this has been going on for way too long at this point. I mean, I was saying people are getting sick and tired. Let's be honest. Something should have been done after the Oprah interview. After they went on the Oprah interview and claimed that everyone's a racist and blah, 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 all that bullshit, something should have been done. But what happens? Oh, the king invites them to the coronation. The king has given the children the prince and princess titles. I mean, like, come on, man. At what point now people are saying, okay, well, he's sick, he's ill, he's not going to deal with it. Well, you know what? He had all that time beforehand to deal with it, and he didn't.
Well, the thing about this right now is now it's such a grand disrespect with this website that you're seeing more people that they're calling for some kind of action. And I think that I don't know about any kind of topics that you guys get bashed for. I think that's one of the biggest ones where you have the public. And if you talk about the royal family, allowing this, and if you criticize them for allowing it, people will get angry, because there's a lot of people out there that I believe you just ran a poll, Molly, right?
Yeah,
That's about if you still support the royal family. And there's a lot of people that even I saw that commented, and they're like, it doesn't matter. Whatever they do, whatever, it's okay. I mean, eventually you have to kind of turn the mirror and say, why aren't they doing anything? What's the reason? Because this whole never complain, never explain thing, I mean, is that it? Is that why?
No, but this shouldn't be like that, because Meghan Small, that according to the law in the United Kingdom, they need permission in order. Any royal thing needs, any royal image, coat of arms, even using the word royal, and needs permission from the monarchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far, Lord Chamberlain, even it's like when you get a royal warrant, you know, and you get the coat of arms from the royal family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, something like that. And then imagine if they remove it from you and you still have it on your store, right?
Yeah.
Harry and Meghan have been doing that. And Charles, and you know what really bothers me? That people go, oh no, they're keeping a dignified silence.
Well, but dignified to what point, though? Dignified to what point? Because I think there's, with every single little step, you know, and then with this giant step, because essentially what this is a royal website. That's what this is. It's a royal website. And now with every single little step, you're seeing more and more people become unhappy with the monarchy because there's no movement. And okay, fine, you know, if it wants to be something along the lines of, oh, well, never complain, never explain. Well, yeah, but eventually it gets out of control. But I mean, I guess people are okay with it for now. That's the thing. And that's why I don't talk about that on my show, because the one time I have talked about that, I got roasted in the comments. Like, people are like, don't criticize the royal family. They're going to do what they do. They have a plan, all this kind of stuff. And so I'm like, okay, fine. Then I guess they have a plan if they do.
What do you think, Meghan Small? What kind of plan do they have? Because you know what it is, though, guys. I can safely tell you guys that I worked a lot in diplomacy, and something is going to come out very publicly that you'll know more about me, right? I can't say very much right now, but you will know more about me. And you will understand when I say to you that first of all, even the most, look at Oprah Winfrey. I mean, I want to give you the most, I hate that skank, but look at Oprah Winfrey. She's really skanky, Andrew. Look at Oprah Winfrey. There was, I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't know if you heard about this. There was a university that they had a class called Oprah something, because how she went up on the ranks. So they were teaching Oprah as a subject, and it was called Oprah something. She immediately reached out to the university to sue them if they didn't take that down, because she watches out for her brand. Can you imagine if Meghan went in? What do you think? Do you ever think Meghan is going to come out and trash Oprah?
No.
Oprah would sue her ass in no time, because people protect their brands. People protect their institutions. Institutions distance themselves from people like Rachel and Meghan Markle. And
Oprah wouldn't sue her. Oprah wouldn't sue her. Oprah isn't the type to make a big scene like that and sue someone. Oprah will just go behind the scenes and have a person blacklisted, like she did with Monique, just like she did with Ice Cube also, and just like she did with some other people that is now starting to come out. Ice Cube was the guy who did the Friday series. He's a rapper.
Ice Cube.
And then when he started getting more political and speaking about his own free thinking, Oprah had him blacklisted from showing up at his own movie premieres. He wasn't allowed to go to any of the premieres. And then you hear that Oprah is now getting Taraji P. Henson blacklisted. Oprah is a snake who does things behind the scenes. She wants to give off the air that she's such a nice woman. Like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, right? That's scam. But then she doesn't want to know what kind of prick you're being behind the scenes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, but also look at what, and you know, like, you know what she's done also with, remember when she was friends with John of God? She even went to see him because he refused to go and see her. So she made the trip, she recorded it, she went, oh, John of God. And then when he was caught to be a fucking perv, she didn't do anything.
No. She knew he was already. Yes, all those people know everything. It's that's why I hate that place. That's why I hate Hollywood so much, because everything is an open secret. It's like, dude, you know all these pieces of shit, and you know how they are, and you just allow it to be an open secret because you want your job. That's why all those people over there in Hollywood are pieces of shit. The true ones, real ones.
Just look at the people that Oprah hangs out with. Harvey Weinstein, John of God. I mean, that gives you the kind of track record that
Epstein Island. She was on Epstein's Island.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't heard about that.
She used to hang around a lot.
And
She
you
used
want
to
to know
hang
what?
around.
If Oprah was white, she would get the same kind of shit that Prince Andrew gets. But because Prince Andrew gets shit all the time about what he did, you know, but does Oprah get shit about it? No, because she's not white.
Look, it has always been my belief that Oprah's little school in Africa was nothing but a place
Oh, I remember that,
to
yeah.
traffic children. That's what I think.
Goodness.
That's what I think.
No, and I, you know, what is that thing with Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil.
Oh,
What, I heard about this, but I don't know about it because I don't follow that bitch. You know, I hate that skank. I really do. I think she's disgusting. You know, now that she's a black billionaire, she's like, oh, poor me. So what is this thing with Dr. Phil?
I know that Oprah was the one who introduced Dr. Phil to everyone, right? She brought him onto the scene, and then they had a falling out over something, but I didn't really pay much attention to that alcoholic anyways. Why would I take advice from an alcoholic who doesn't even have his own life in order, who wants to call himself a therapist? Like, piss off.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the worst thing that Meghan Markle posted on her fake? Oh my God, did you guys see? She's been posting articles that the Suits remix or relaunch, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a failure because now it shows how vital Meghan Markle's role was on Suits. Have you seen that?
No, but
it said lead. It said lead.
Now she's the leading. She put that she's the leading role in Suits.
I read that. I did read that part. In the bio, they called her a lead in Suits, and she's not. She was only in the show for 4 minutes per episode. So the delusion, it's either way, you know, either way.
What were you gonna say, Megan Small?
I was gonna get onto their topic about their fucking commercial flight. I mean, not commercial flight, their private jet to Vancouver. I wanted to get on the topic of that, but I'll keep my mouth shut till we get there because I am heated.
No, let's get there. We're here now. We can talk about anything.
Okay, so Harry and Meghan chartered an executive jet firm out of Vancouver Island. Okay. And I got to give full credit to J.E. May, who found this out on Twitter, and also the St. Meghan Markle Reddit subgroup, okay? Because they did all the sleuthing here. So Harry and Meghan took a private jet that was chartered from a Vancouver Island executive company. So this jet left Vancouver Island, went down to Santa Barbara to pick these two idiots up to bring them up to Vancouver, okay? The cost of that jet, let me tell you this. So when you look at the jet, you can see that their jet, because you can get photos of the jet, was a Challenger 605 jet, which has a capacity of 10 passengers in it.
I have it here. I have your X thingy here.
There you go. Okay. And then let me just, besides the fact that Harry and Meghan and this jet has been paid for by Invictus. So number one, it leads me to think, okay, our taxpayer money, Vancouver taxpayer money, or the federal government's money going to pay for this jet? Because let's just say the cost of that jet cost about $55,000 round trip to pick these two idiots up, take them up to Vancouver and back down to Santa Barbara when they're done. Okay. A basic prosthetic limb costs about $5,000, but because depending on the complex physical therapy, and it averages about $50 to $150 per session so that the person can get used to and learn how to work with their prosthetic. Can you imagine how many competitors this single trip, this private jet, this $55,000 that was spent on the private jet of Invictus funds for Harry and Meghan? And let's not forget, Harry last week when he jetted over to the UK had no problems taking a commercial British Airways flight. But they're taking a private jet. So it's clearly Meghan who has the demands because she's Diana 2.0 and she needs to be kept safe at all times. But there's no children with them. And the money that is being spent should be going to the veterans instead, to the competitors. At the end of the day, nobody should be giving any money to any Invictus charity, nothing. This is such a cash grab. And seriously, the fact that Harry and Meghan are cosplaying royals is why governments are still handing out money to these two fucking idiots. This is why Charles needs to be like, they have nothing to do with us. We're not royals. The fact that they're cosplaying royals gives them the door to open to go and ask governments for handouts, for multi-million-dollar handouts. Sorry, I'm pissed.
No. Good for you. No, Meghan's Mo. Another thing is that they landed on Vancouver, and then that I have a friend of mine. He's a pilot. He tells me that landing and taking off is when you consume most of the gasoline and stuff like that. They landed on Vancouver, and then they took off just to go to Victoria Island, which is 34 miles away.
But I'm hearing conflicting stories, because I'm hearing that one story is that they're going straight from Vancouver to Whistler. And then I'm hearing another conflicting story that they're going to Victoria, which doesn't make sense, because why would you need to go to Victoria? It's so out of the way from where Whistler is located.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they stay at that mansion?
Is that what they're doing now because they don't want to stay? But that doesn't make sense. You would have to fly back and forth between.
Yeah, but remember, they don't care. Meghan Markle loves getting into her, because it doesn't make sense. The only thing that links them to that is that mansion from that oligarch, and that's why they would get absolute privacy, because they're in a mansion with servants and all kinds of things.
I don't believe they're going to Victoria at all. I still believe that they're staying in that super expensive hotel in Whistler. And that they put out the story that they're going to Victoria or whatever just to throw off the scent. That's it. I think it's a bullshit nonsense.
But the airplane did take off. They didn't get off. It just landed, and then they took off to Victoria, and where they landed, and they even have the time and that they landed and everything, and they even have Prince Harry's, I believe, picture getting off the plane, but only Harry, not Meghan.
But I've got a photo of Harry and Meghan both at YVR, and then they're going straight to Whistler.
Where are they? Do you have it here, sweetie? You have it. Do you have it on your X?
I don't know that I do. Go down.
Oh, here. Is that it?
I don't know. I really don't even know anymore.
Let me see. That's Harry.
You can tell from the back of his head.
Is that Meghan?
That's supposed to be Meghan with her fake bum. Because those look like the Hermes shoes that she was wearing at the Dusseldorf games. Remember those super expensive, $1,000 Hermes shoes? Yeah.
And
her legs are wide open too. So
yeah, that's a good indicator. That's her.
that wide stance walking.
Did you guys notice that picture?
Megan Reagan is asking for the airport code in Vancouver. It's YVR. YVR, just so you know.
Did you see Meghan's Mo? I actually posted a picture of Meghan Markle in her thing with the aubergine on her mouth. Why does she love that picture so much with her mouth open?
Every single photo, she's got her mouth fucking open. Like it's ready to take some cock.
Not
on Valentine's Day.
Look at Andrew's face. It's all right.
It's supposed to be sacred.
I'm sorry. That copy of car.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. That was too funny. And what really made it funnier is Andrew's face all blushy.
It's Valentine's Day. You're supposed to be nice today.
I can imagine you and Meghan Small and me in a night out. You probably were from us.
Oh, we're gonna do a drunk live pretty soon. We're gonna have
bitches. Oh my goodness. But Meghan Small, she loves that picture, doesn't she?
Yeah. With her mouth wide open, ready to receive a massive load.
She's a wide receiver.
I think it's supposed to be like a power thing.
What, your mouth wide open?
Yeah, because Amber Heard used to do that as well.
Oh yeah, my God. Look at what Maureen says. Harry doesn't have a cock for her to gobble.
I know.
Of course,
I
it's
guess
just too
it'd be like
funny.
sucking on a little Twizzler stick, huh?
It's too funny. Okay, let's talk something. I'm crying. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Paula. I'm
No,
sorry.
no. Why are you apologizing? Did you hear me complain? I'm laughing. I feel bad for Andrew.
Sorry,
I
Andrew.
know.
You know, I was gonna tell you, what is this bitch about going on about Andrew? People are feeling sorry for you, for Andrew.
Okay.
You know, like I was gonna ask you, did you see her clap back? Sussex is my last name. It's our last name. Does this bitch even know?
Can I just say how stupid that is? Because
That's so dumb.
on Archofficial's certified
Pull it
copy of entry or whatever, it literally says Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor.
I'll pull it up, Molly. I'll pull it up.
I know you. I'm sorry, guys. The live just went totally.
No, I love it. Are you kidding? What are you apologizing for? Here we go. Here we go.
His name, right at the very top. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. That's his surname. That's the last name, Mountbatten Windsor. I mean, the thing that drives me nuts is that even Cameron from GB News, you know, that young-faced little young man. Yeah. I mean, when he first started off, he was doing good, but now he's gotten sucked into the whole Meghan and Harry thing. And he's like, well, it's their last name. They can use, you're a fucking reporter. You call yourself a royal reporter and you're saying that Sussex is their last name. Thank goodness that, what's his name? Andrew Pierce was sitting next to him because he's like, no, Sussex is their title. That's their dukedom. Wouldn't their last name be Mountbatten Windsor? And Cameron was just like, blah, 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 like sitting there like an idiot.
You can tell that guy. I remember him. He came in the game about 2 months ago, right? Something like that.
Not too long ago.
And I remember him at the beginning. And then there was one post that he made, and it was just it read as if it was right out of Meghan Markle's dirty Soho mouth. And you can tell that this guy is probably in the WhatsApp group for Meghan Markle journalists.
I think so too. Yeah. Now that we know that, I think so too.
I mean, this is disgusting. I mean, look at this. I put that this should be the real coat of arms. And this is Meghan Markle with her big wiener there. I mean,
it's just such an unprofessional photo. You want people to take you seriously, and this is the photo that you take?
No, it's a power thing, Molly. Amber Heard used to do the same thing, where if you go back and look at a lot of Amber Heard's photos, she has her mouth open and you can see her teeth, you know? So it's this power thing that these women have learned from Gloria Steinem. It's like a tactic or something.
What, showing your teeth makes
showing your
powerful?
teeth, yeah. It's showing your teeth is a sign of power or some bullshit.
I thought that was in the animal kingdom, so we're replicating.
That's right. Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, because when you're talking about the way these people were taught, both of them, Amber and Meghan, they were taught according to this toxic feminism by people like Gloria Steinem. So when you have something like that, when you see her teeth, like you're not like, there was even one picture Amber Heard did where she was like, like she tried to show her teeth as if she was growling or something. It's so weird. It's these people are weird in their heads. It's what they've learned.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense.
Well, what about that coat of arms? Because she's saying, oh, well, it's my coat of arms. It's my coat of arms, so I can use it. Because the law says that you need the permission from the royal to do it. And she is the royal who owns the coat of arms. So she's given herself permission to use that. But then again, when you use a coat of arms, it implies that you're royal.
Yeah. Well, I think that makes Harry look like a little bitch, to be honest with you. That one hit me when I saw that it was her crest and not his crest. That makes him look like a little bitch. It makes him look as if he, because think about it, he's the prince. So shouldn't he have the logo because it's his family? And he doesn't want that because he's a little bitch.
You know what I'm thinking about that, Andrew? The reason why he doesn't have his crest, because he is the one of royal blood. He would need the permission from the monarch to do it, whereas Meghan is not. So they're trying to be sneaky about it. There's two fucking skankies. They're trying to be sneaky about it. Oh, well, it's Meghan's coat of arms. It's not Harry's coat of arms. And because he's their blood royal, he doesn't have request permission, but it was a gift from Her Majesty, and she's using the coat of arms to that.
Yeah, and it's so stupid that I think that's the main point. I had read that something that they're doing this for a reason because Queen Elizabeth is no longer alive. So when you have the talking point of, well, oh, they're going against Queen Elizabeth's wishes, well, they don't care because she's not here.
Yeah. They feel like nothing in that summit that they had as a contract is valid now because that contract was with Queen Elizabeth.
See, look at this comment right here. When is her drama going to stop? I mean, I don't think it is. We just got reports that they were trying to do an Invictus game over there in Birmingham, England for 2027. So if that Invictus game gets approved, these two people are going to be around for 4 or 5 more years. Easy. And that's only right now.
That's creepy.
And I was gonna ask you guys, what do you think the king's gonna do?
Fuck all.
Nothing.
Sweet fuck all at this point. Pardon my French, pardon my language, my
and
friends.
Can I tell you something about that? That right there, it kind of emboldens me when I hear that, because hey, if the king isn't going to do anything, then I'm going to fucking do something.
Exactly.
I used to feel bad last year and be like, oh, why am I taking on these people every single day? Like, why do I make videos about them every day? And it ain't like that anymore. Now it's like, okay, let's get up and let's take these two fuckers down.
I almost feel like us YouTubers are doing the actual job of the UK media and what they're supposed to be doing, because they are the ones who are enjoying like stirring the pot more. You see the UK media, people like Camilla, they will stir the pot. They know what they're doing. They want the drama because then they can write more articles about it. But I feel like it's up to YouTubers like ourselves, like us three and others out there, to constantly basically keep our foot on their necks about all of this. We need to be the ones who are shouting from the rooftops about Invictus. I know some people get sick and tired of hearing about it from us, but if we don't talk about it, then who will? Then these two degenerates will just keep going around and use people and use taxpayer funds how they wish they can.
But like, even worse, Molly, think about it. They know that we're out here talking about them. They know nothing.
Where is Andrew?
Cut out.
And they know that people have a spotlight on them, and it doesn't do anything. They don't care because why? Because the ultimate action, it's not going to happen. And I think they know that as well. They know that the palace isn't going to do anything. They know that King Charles isn't going to do anything. And as we talked about before, you can't really call out King Charles or the palace because people will get upset about it. So I guess you just got to let it lie.
Yeah.
You know what's even worse? We now got royal experts who have a big credibility and following coming out and basically saying that it's not Charles has no power to strip Harry's titles, which is absolute bullshit. And they do this in order to remove any responsibility from Charles, saying, oh, well, he can't do it because it's Parliament, right? And so I Mr. Dickey.
But let me ask you a question, Paula. Let me ask you a question on that. What would happen if they did? Like, do you think that if the royal family truly ripped the titles today, like if it happened right now, do you think that the two morons would stop calling themselves the Duke and Duchess?
They will have no choice, because then they can't use royal titles. The only thing that they're doing is they have royal titles because they have them. This is what Meghan.
I feel like that's not true.
They can't use them because they can't be sued.
They ripped the titles, they would still.
No, okay. Let me give you an example. If you're the general manager of Apple or McDonald's, and you are on their website, right, as a general manager, but then you finish your job, you quit. You can put on your resume that you used to work as a general manager, but you can't keep calling yourself the general manager of Apple or McDonald's.
But what is Apple or McDonald's going to actually do? That's my question.
They can sue you if you
well,
you know what I mean? They can sue you and they will stop you. Like, I mean, you can't, because that's a representative thing. You see, using a royal title implies that you're representing them. This is, for example, let me give you an example. People say, oh, but he's his son, he can do that. Wait a minute. Does that mean that Zara Tindall is less of a daughter to Princess Anne because she doesn't have a royal title? Of course not. Harry will continue to be his son, but he will be without a royal title, and a royal title doesn't imply. In fact, I am actually starting a petition in Canada to demand, and I usually ask people in the UK to do it directly because it takes less time, to demand that the royal website, the royal family's website name be changed to the British monarchy's website. Because if you put British monarchy's website, then people will know it's work. It's not the royal family, because the family word in that is bringing confusion about it, because the British monarchy is an institution headed by the monarch, who's the head of state, not only of the United Kingdom, but of the Commonwealth, some of the realm of the United Kingdom, Canada, one of them, you know? So when you put the British monarch, like, it should be called the British royal family, British monarchy's website, then that lends a different meaning to it. For example, Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple, right? The website was not called the Jobs family, it was called Apple. Yeah. And you know that Steve Jobs at one point had one of his kids employed, and the kid was in the website. As soon as one of the kids stopped working, he removed that person. He removed the kid. Yeah. So if you call it not the Jobs family a website, but the British monarchy, people will understand that the people who are there are the ones who are working for the monarchy.
Yeah.
Paula, look at it this way. Harry and Meghan spent the last 4 years calling the royal family every single racist, whatever, colonizers, everything under the sun. Okay, they left the royal family under the pretenses that they wanted to live a normal life, and they didn't want to have the titles. Remember, Omid Scobie put out the tweet when Archofficial was dropped off by the stork at Frogmore Cottage that they have forgone using titles because they want to give him a private, normal life. They've done all of this. They've shown themselves that the royal families are these horrible, disgusting people, but yet they continue to use those titles all the time. They've never stopped at once. They will never stop using the titles until Charles or someone puts their foot down about it. And right now, we are getting a stupid ping pong game between Parliament and Charles. Charles saying, I can't do it. Parliament has to do it. Parliament saying, I can't do it. Charles has to do it. Right? Yeah. This is what's happening. This is where we're stuck right now, in a ping pong
passing
game.
The buck, passing the buck. Yeah.
No one's doing anything about this situation. At the end of the day, Harry and Meghan, like it says on the royal family website, are still working members who are doing their duty towards and serving the monarchy and the king. So we have our answers right there. Harry and Meghan have their choice. They wanted to be half in, half out royals. They've been pushing ahead with being half in, half out royals, and that's what they are at the moment. And they are taking complete advantage of the fact that King Charles is sick and has this cancer diagnosis to keep doing whatever they want, because they know he's not going to say shit about it.
Yeah.
But also, he's a pussy. Even I think he's hiding behind the cancer diagnosis. Let me tell you something. My ex-father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law had prostate cancer for 25 years. He used to take a pill a day to that was his treatment. And he died of a broken hip. He fell down and broke his hip, and he, at the age of 87, and he didn't recover from that. He didn't die of cancer. He had very manageable cancer. And let's not forget that Charles is not going to get the NHS medical care. This man is getting the best fucking doctors in the world, private, whatever you want to call it. But as I said, my ex-father-in-law did not die of cancer. Even my ex-husband, he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, but he's taking a pill. He's like, 60 something, and he's taking a pill. He's fine. He didn't even lose his hair or anything like that. He actually gained weight. It's something that I understand. Cancer is a serious thing, but I feel that the press is hiding behind it, and Charles is hiding behind it so as not to take action. That's just my opinion, because I got to tell you something. I am fed up. If it's not one thing, it's another one. And just to answer Dickie Arbiter and his daughter, because they're the ones, and I love Dickie Arbiter, who did a video, because Dickie Arbiter categorically said that it's Parliament, that the king cannot. He cannot. And they use these fucking royal experts to put out these fake news. And then you get YouTubers like me. People go, oh, but Dickie Arbiter said that. Or Neil Sean said that. Oh, so said that. You know what I mean? Because for some reason they have that image. This is in black. And I want to point this out. This is Petition's UK government. I pointed it out many times. This is a parliamentary petition asking for Parliament to remove Prince Harry's titles. And it says the petition was rejected. Can you read that, Molly? Because maybe with your
it says, why was this petition rejected? It's about honors or appointments. We can't publish petitions about honors and appointments, including asking for people to be given or have titles removed. In any case, the use of royal titles are a matter of Her Majesty the Queen, and not the government or Parliament. You might be interested to know that the Titles Deprivation Act 1917 was specifically used for during the First World War and for those who, during the present war, bore arms against His Majesty or his allies, or have adhered to His Majesty's enemies, and are not for a general removal of titles. You can read the legislation here at www. There you go. But you know what's crazy about this? When I just read it, can you go back to that? Because it said that the titles had to be removed if someone, hold on, I want to get the exact words.
Yeah.
It says that the titles, hold on, are during the present war or borne arms against His Majesty or his allies. So basically, does that say that if anyone who has basically spoken against His Majesty can have their titles taken away?
Yes, so it's considered felony treason because they changed it from treason, which was you would be hung before they used to hang you, you know? Yeah. So that was changed to felony treason if you allied, if you, for example, also, you know what's another part of the felony treason?
No, but what I'm trying to get at is
that important, Meghan Small. If through your words and actions, you put the monarch or the heir to the throne in danger or impede or try to stop the good functioning of the monarchy and the advisors of the monarch.
So Harry has done all of the above. Harry literally told us in Spare about how he wanted to kill his own father with a Typhoon fighter jet.
Yeah.
But spared him at the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, Harry's been a fucking traitor since the day he let this whore into the family. Let's be honest.
Well, that's the thing is, you can't, that's how I feel. You can't make it up until that day. Like, you know, the notion that we were talking about, Molly, last week about how the British press or the palace, excuse me, they were the ones that controlled his image. And that's why so many people, they're like, oh, I want the old Harry back. I want that fun-loving guy. That guy wasn't real. Like, yeah. that was a figment of people's imagination because that's what the palace created. So if you really look at it, I mean, they could be doing it again where they're allowing this. And why are they allowing it? That's the $1 million question. Why? Yeah, why are they allowing it? Is it because he's King Charles' son? Is it because they think that Harry and Meghan have real dirt on the royal family? Is it because they're afraid of whatever? Like, there's the real question is, why are they still allowing it and not putting their foot down? That's the real question. And also I wanted to add in there, I was going to tell Paula, I don't like I said, I don't think they would stop. I think if there was even to be literally the headline, if the headline said King Charles strips Harry and Meghan of royal titles, I don't think they would give a shit. I think they would just keep on going, doing everything they're doing. And they would say, well, the royal family is thousands of miles away. What the fuck are they going to do about it? That's how these people are. I truly believe that.
Oh, they will call him racist.
Yeah.
They'll play the victim card in one way or another, right? They always do.
Yeah. Meghan, I wanted to talk to you about this article because, guys, this article, believe it or not, it's incredibly important, Meghan Small, and such a great thing because I don't know how to save articles, you know, before they change them. So I am forever.
It's very, very easy. I'll explain it to you right now. All you do is you open a tab and you go to www.archive.vn. .vn is one, or .is. You can use either one. And basically it brings you to a page where then you copy the original article URL and paste it into the archive machine. And that basically, it does a whole thing. You'll see your screen go green and a whole bunch of like computer numbers and things like that. And it saves the original article for you.
Oh.
So it's very, very simple. You just go to archive.vn or IS, one of those ones, and it's an archive machine. You just copy over the current URL that you're using to look at, say, this article, and you just copy it over and it keeps it there. But what it also does is that if someone else behind you goes and saves the same URL, but say if it's been updated, it will keep a list of how many times that article has been updated, and it will show the changes also. Yeah, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Are you on mute, Paula?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying hello.
Yeah, so it's very easy. That's how it's done. It's super simple. And you guys have no idea, because believe it or not, Charles, I have a feeling, Meghan Small, that the government and Charles, and let's not forget that the government, they work at the pleasure of His Majesty, the monarch, right? Because this thing people are not paying attention to, and you did. Prince Harry expected to return to UK in May for Invictus Game Service. And not only that, guys, the government is getting involved once again with Invictus. Not only just the government, but they've also already have a private financial backer.
Yeah.
And Johnny Mercer, who is the UK Veterans Affairs Minister, is pushing it. There you go. You've just went. He's the one who's pushing it. He was also at Invictus in Dusseldorf, I think. He was there.
Drinking beer with Harry to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a multi-million-pound government bid backed by a private finance has been made to host the event in Birmingham 2027.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, 2027.
They're
not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and what Harry is doing is that in May he's going back. So who knows if it's because, remember, May is Archofficial's birthday, isn't it? Sometime in May, yeah. Right? So they're going to go to St. Paul's Cathedral. And I called it the basement of St. Paul's Cathedral, but apparently the crypt. You can hire it out. You can book it out for events. And basically, like, why is Harry allowed to book events at these places? Like, you want to sit within, like, what, tombstones and graves and things like that and hold an event after you basically have been trashing the monarchy and everything your family line has stood for centuries to what? To what? What's the point of all this? This is all just a scam for Harry to fill his pockets with money. That's all it is.
He's got no talent. This is the only thing he can do, if you think about it from that perspective.
Is a scammer. He's a scammer. No. That's all he is.
Like, you have to remember, when it comes to a family, a father knows which one of his kids are fucking morons. So if King Charles, if King Charles knows that his second son is a fucking moron, he's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to let this kid do anything he wants, because if I don't, he's going to ruin himself. I mean, look at the whore he just married. He married a call girl. He obviously thinks that strippers like him. So I think that there could be a possibility that King Charles is like, yeah, I know what my idiot son is doing. Trust me, I know.
I think Charles is more worried. I think Charles is more worried over the fact that he doesn't want Harry to retaliate and say shit about Camilla.
That's it. You hit the nail. And not only that, people should be aware. I mean, I am seriously, guys, I'm starting a petition for the Canadian government and for the charity. I'm denouncing Invictus, because Canada, they gave them in total 30 million Canadian dollars.
Well, you know what, Paula? Actually,
fucking money for it.
Hold on, Paula. Even though Canada, so the BC government and the Veterans Affairs Canada gave, it's actually 31 million. It's going to end up being more than that, because we don't know how much, well, number one, this flight right? We got to include this flight. And then when they come for the 10 days next year, you got to include how much their security is going to cost, how much their accommodations are going to cost, how much
Meghan's clothes
is going to cost, how much every single thing from the minute they wipe their ass with toilet paper, because I don't even think they're going to pay for something like toilet paper either. You bet the BC taxpayers are paying for all this. Canadian taxpayers are paying for this. And right now, I'm pretty sure that BC has a serious issue with housing costs and crises. Like, they're in a big crisis right now. But instead, BC taxpayer money is going into the pockets of a whore who laid on her back in suits and a dumbass who just happened to be a prince. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And what is very important here, Meghan Small, because people don't understand what's happening here. The team at the cabinet office who are behind the plan hope to finance a 4-year program, which would improve rehabilitation prospects and supporting opportunities for veterans and civilians. That's fine. The scheme has won the support of the Ministry of Defense, who had withdrawn that support. Remember when the Ministry of Defense said, we want nothing to do with Harry, right? We're withdrawing our support from Invictus Games. And the Royal British Legion. Leading the bid is Johnny Mercer. By the way, this Johnny Mercer, guys, I'm doing my video about him. He has been embroiled in so many scandals for misusing of funds. It's not even funny. Okay?
There you go. That's why Harry and Meghan are attracted to him. Like attracts like always.
One of the investigations was dropped because it kind of, it's just like what Meghan and Harry are doing right now, which is like they're using the crest, but it's Meghan's crest. They're not using the word royal, but they're using the titles. You know what I mean? The reason why he wasn't put in prison and that, because he kind of like borderline. So they just dropped the criminal investigation, but he's been embroiled in 4 misappropriation of funds scandal. Okay. And this leading the bid is Johnny Mercer, the Minister for Veterans Affairs, who was flown to Birmingham for treatment after being wounded. Well, that's why. And you know what the problem with all of this, guys, is? It's like when you have, I've spoken about this before. It's like when you have a choir of church, a church choir of kids, and they're singing praises to Jeffrey Dahmer, for example. It's like, you go like, fuck, but it's a kid's choir, church choir, but they're praising Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like you don't want to call them out because they're kids in a church singing a song, but praising Jeffrey Dahmer. And this is the thing there. They use people who are veterans who were wounded to do all these bad things. And he said it feels like the right time at the right place. The biggest power of recovery has always been in sport, has always been in Invictus, and the Duke of Sussex led the way when he set these games up 10 years ago. And again, the narrative, and I'm going to call people out. I even heard people on GB News and Talk TV with Kinsey Schofield and everybody, and I love Kinsey, saying that Prince Harry, they're singing him praises. Oh, but, we are not taking that away from him. He set it up. No fucking way. We YouTubers have to call that shit out. He didn't set it up. It's the Royal Foundation, alongside with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge at the time, and Harry. And it actually was set up by the private secretaries. Okay. And the worst part of it all, guys, is that a source close to the project said Harry has indicated that he's, comfortable coming back for a British-based Invictus Games. And we understand that the games have always had the support of the rest of the royal family.
Yeah.
Paula, I'm wondering why Andrew's going all red on the screen here.
I'm not. I'm seeing something for Valentine's Day that I'm going to buy for myself.
I get it. Paula, look, everyone is pissed off about the whole entire scenario, okay? People, when you look online on X, you can see people are fed up with waiting for King Charles to do something. Look, we all understand he's going through a tough time with his cancer diagnosis, but come on, that's not an excuse for you to allow the shit that Harry and Meghan keep flinging. They literally called you guys racist for the last 4 years. Charles was called a racist. He was named a racist in Omid Scobie's book after walking this harlot down the aisle. And yet they're still like, he's just laying back and letting them do whatever he wants. I don't know, like, does he need like Queen Margarita to come and kick his ass or something? Like, what needs to happen here?
Well, let me ask y'all two a question, because y'all have been around for a long time. What was
You call me old?
No. What was the angle Prince Andrew used to play before all of the Epstein stuff?
Fuck.
What do you
I don't
mean?
remember. What do you mean?
Like, because what I'm thinking is something where they're trying to keep the attention on Harry, if this is the reason, if this is the thing. Like, the way that they would keep the attention on him, and they could basically just pay attention to him, and Lord only knows what Harry's going to end up doing with the First Amendment. But I mean, it just because I'm talking about what I see, and what I see is that they're allowing this man to take all the attention. But why? It's the same thing. Like, oh, look, I have a giant thing here. Pay attention to this. Well, what am I doing with this other hand? You see, if I was Meghan, she's fingering Harry's ass. But if you have something here, what are they doing here in this other hand that you can't see? That's my question, because there has to be a reason why they're allowing it. But again.
Well, we know that. Okay. Well, look, Catherine right now is, if she didn't have surgery, she would be out and about. So right now, I think they're using this to their advantage too, that Catherine isn't doing well, so that they're getting out in public more. So they're using that, because if Catherine gets out and about, the attention's all on her, right? But then I also feel like maybe, okay, people are gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but I feel like Charles will always be jealous of the popularity that William and Catherine have, and maybe he's keeping Meghan and Harry on to be a pain in the ass for William's reign.
But is there any proof?
Absolutely, absolutely, darling boy. His darling boy. Why would he see him for half an hour and get police-funded protection for him to come and see her for half an hour? And people think that Harry caught him by surprise. No such fucking thing. He's the king of England. He knew his darling boy was coming. The police protection was arranged. Go ahead, Andrew.
Well, I already forgot what I was going to say. No, yeah, that. Is there any actual proof of this Charles v. William thing, the jealousy of the popularity? Because I've never seen any, and that's why whenever I hear that, it's tough for me to hear, because I feel like Charles and William are on the same team. And, even though William's going to be king in the future, it feels to me like it's Charles, William, Camilla, and Catherine against the two morons. But like I'm saying, it's because I've never seen any proof of that. I understand the angle of Charles is jealous of their popularity. I get that. I totally understand. I'm the type of person, I want to see it. I want to see what they're talking about.
Well, the thing is that if you watch the following, look at Charles. It doesn't make any sense. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh, it's because Princess Diana. Fucking bullshit. It's because Charles did the same to his own mother. Charles, people, you know what? It's such a bad thing. Andrew, I'm going to send you a bunch of fucking articles for you to read. Mm-hmm. Charles, in 1994, guys, this is way before internet, clearly. 1994, wrote that book. Everybody called for exactly the same thing we're doing right now, but it wasn't on social media. It wasn't in the newspapers. They called for his abdication. They called for him to be stripped of the titles because he was so horrible to his mother and father. Even Prince Philip came out and said that, no, I'm so glad. I did a whole video about Prince Philip clapping back at him, and I love the way he clapped back at him. It's like when he said that his father told him, if you're not gonna marry Lady Diana, break up with her, because her reputation is already, like everybody picked on her, like the whole press is onto her, and her reputation is going to be damaged. That's what Prince Philip said. He didn't say, if you don't marry Diana, you lose the crown. This is even Prince Charles' book at the time. Oh, my father told me that if I wasn't going to be serious about Lady Diana, that I should break up with her. And I took that as, if you don't marry her, you're done. What fucking planet are we living on? Prince Philip was looking out for a young lady who had a reputation to, safeguard, and she was being hounded by the paps. And he took that. He's like Harry. Whatever if you say to Harry, oh, by the way, that tie doesn't look good. Oh, Oprah said to me that I shouldn't be wearing tights because I look like an ass. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like that. And then because everybody backlashed on Charles, he went and did the Dimbleby interview. Remember? The very same asshole who wrote the authorized biography did the interview 4 or 5 days prior to the Queen going in the most historic visit of a monarch to Russia. The press, the whole press, guys. I know you don't remember because before it was print press. Probably it's before you were born, Andrew. But it's like people.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think it's just, for me, it's tough to think that. It's not tough to think. It's tough to think that Charles would love Harry so much that he would allow all this shit. But then you turn around and say he doesn't love William. He's jealous of him. That one's tough for me because I thought at least they were on the same team.
They are on the same team. It doesn't mean you can't be on the same team. I think Charles is a bit of a narcissist, okay? I think when you're in that position, I think even William is a little bit of a narcissist, but he can control it a lot better. Okay, I will honestly say that. Oh shit! I just lost my train of thought. Damn it!
Get it back! Damn it!
I'm just we've all seen how popular Charles lost his popularity with that whole Diana scandal. He will never be back to what he was before. Even before Diana, Charles wasn't really that popular. Let's be honest. Yeah. He wasn't. And I've always like, this is just my opinion. Like I said, there is no proof that Charles is jealous of William or anything. But I feel like maybe Charles is, because he is a bit of a narcissist. That's just my opinion. Oh,
Charles is jealous of anyone taking the limelight off him.
Yeah. I mean, why else? I mean, let's be honest. Like during the coronation, Catherine and the other women could have worn tiaras or something like that. But no, it only had to be Camilla with a big tiara to get the attention all on her, while all the other women wore like little flower tiaras, basically. And then Camilla's wearing the big diamonds and everything. Like, I mean, Camilla's been through a lot, but I feel like Camilla will never replace the Queen. Let's be honest. The Queen lives forever, regardless.
But you know what, Meghan? Well, I'm going to push back a little bit on that. Camilla hasn't been through a lot. Camilla hasn't been through a lot. She's put herself through a lot, which is different. She's chosen to be with a married man. She's chosen to cheat on her husband. Do you know that she got 100?
It's not chosen. It takes two people to tango.
No, right? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean when people say Camilla has been through a lot. The press have been horrible to her. Well, she chose to be with a married man.
Horrible to her. You know how nasty.
Well, wouldn't they be? And you know what? You know whose fault it is? Charles, for ousting her in that interview in 1994 when he said he fucked her. You know, and that's when shit hit the fan. And actually, that's when Andrew Parker Bowles had to file for divorce because, I mean, he could not put up with that shit. Once Charles said, "Oh, I am fucking Camilla, who's married to Andrew Parker Bowles." I mean, at that point, Andrew Parker Bowles was left with no choice but to file for divorce for in the grounds of adultery, I believe. Yeah. Which is why Camilla was not allowed to marry Charles in a church ceremony, because that's one of the things that the church ceremony has. So Charles basically made Camilla the most hated woman. Even her Camilla's closest friends were saying at the time, why would he oust her like that? You know, people were like, he turned her into the most hated woman. You know, when he's
right. Yeah, you're right.
You know, and the thing is with Camilla is like, if I know the guy is married, I mean, even if I know, let me put it this way. Some men are dogs, not you, Andrew. You're a special, beautiful dog. You're so.
I was like, how did you bring us into this?
One of my cousin's husband. I went to see my cousin. This is why I've stopped seeing my cousin's home, because this is a very delicate situation, guys. I went to her home. I used to go to her home. I used to drop off all the time. She's one of my favorite cousins. I went to her home, and her husband, you know, we're at their house. We're at their house, guys. And I'm sitting there on the porch outside the patio, and he comes behind me, and he tries to grab my tits. My cousin just went to get us some lemonade, literally. And he tried to grab my tits. And then, you know, like, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? I won't not see a man, even if it's one of my friends, one of my girlfriends. She had an ex that she's seen from high school. To me, he's untouchable because he dated my girlfriend. If I know that a man is married in a relationship or something like that, That's the end of it for me. But for Camilla, it wasn't. Wasn't it her ambition to be the mistress of the king?
Yeah. Let's be honest, Camilla has always wanted to be the type of woman where she hosts dinner parties and things like that. She's not into the queen role. I mean, they don't even travel. Look at what Queen Elizabeth was doing. She was traveling all over the place.
So look, Paula, I'm going to send you this tweet and I want you to put it on the screen and I want to get your reaction to it.
Of course.
Oh, God.
It's about Diana and Camilla from
Where are you going to send it to me? Through WhatsApp or what?
Yeah. I'll send it through Snapchat. Can you use that?
No, let me see. I've never done that.
Oh, I have the WhatsApp here. That's right. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your WhatsApp.
Do it now.
Yeah.
And then dirties have WhatsApp? Hold on. You dirty birdies have WhatsApp? You dirty dirties.
Here we are. We're going to get the thing is my problem, guys, is not that my problem that I have with Charles is that he had too much of baggage himself, because if he tries to tells to Harry, you can't write a book about me, Harry goes, wait a minute. If he says you can't give an interview about me, then Harry goes, wait a minute. If he says you can't do this with this woman, Harry says, wait a minute, because Charles has done all of that. Do you know what I mean, guys? So he doesn't have the moral authority to tell Harry, you can't write a book, you can't do an interview, you can't trash us, you can't do this, because he's done it all. And on top of that, Harry's mother died. You know,
yeah.
So he can't.
Well, he still has her alive with his wife.
Pardon me?
He still has Diana alive with his wife. I think there's a genuine sick thing with Harry and Meghan. I do. I think that's not just a joke that we say. That's not just like a quip. I think that there's something here for Prince Harry when it comes to his mother, and he has his wife now. I genuinely believe that's real.
But look at this thing that you have there, Meghan Small. Look at that shirt and Meghan Markle. Didn't she say in an interview that the palace used to force them to dress up like Diana?
Yeah, she said some bullshit like that.
What do you think her excuse for this? And wearing, of course, Princess Diana's watch.
That's not Diana's watch. I wish people would stop saying that gold watch is Diana's watch. That is not Diana's watch. It's a replica that Meghan Markle bought for herself, and that watch only made an appearance when they started doing their Zoom calls, okay? And then all of a sudden, the press, it was the media that ran with, oh, Meghan Markle shows up with wearing Princess Diana's gold watch. And that narrative has been run with since then. That is not Diana's gold watch. It's a copy that she's bought, and she's pretending that it's Diana's gold watch.
Okay, we're going to share what Andrew just sent me. I love you, Andrew. Is that the one?
Yes, that
one. Read that.
That watch definitely triggers me.
Watch, read that right there.
Princess Diana had multiple affairs included in the first year of her marriage. There's a reason Charles went back to Camilla after Camilla's marriage broke down. I don't believe for 1 second that Charles wasn't hurt or was pushed because of Diana's infidelity. I'm sick of the bullshit version of the story where Diana was the victim. A victim doesn't try and kill their own born child by throwing themselves down the stairs. That's why I don't believe Harry's Charles' son. After that event, I don't think he wanted to touch her. I mean, what do you think?
So start at the beginning. And go from the beginning, and then comment on.
Princess Diana had multiple affairs included in the first year of her marriage. That's absolute bullshit. Princess Diana, one of the things, of course, she had affairs afterwards. But Princess Diana, one of the things that girl was she was completely in love with this asshole of Charles. She was completely in love with this man. The first year this woman literally came from a broken home, and she was deeply in love. She was 19, very naive. I believe that she started having an affair after Prince William was born. And let me tell you something, because I have even done a couple of videos about this, and I've actually posted Stuart Higgins' apology after Princess Diana's death. If you don't know who Stuart Higgins was, he was an editor of one of the biggest newspapers in the UK. And he apologized when Princess Diana died, because he admitted that Camilla had been calling him on a weekly basis, at least once a week from the time, even before Charles married Diana. And once Diana married Charles, she would phone him once a week at least, sometimes twice if she felt that they needed more news. She was the one who leaked to the news that Diana had come from, was having bulimia things and had left Sandringham earlier from her honeymoon because Camilla. And Diana was telling Charles, somebody is telling the press. And what was Charles saying to her? You're insane. You're crazy. His wife was not insane. If you want definition of gaslighting, that's it. Whatever
okay,
Diana
keep going on the tweet. Keep going.
There's a reason why Charles went back to Camilla. He never stopped seeing her. It's been now worldwide acknowledged that the woman, there was a party at the palace the night before Diana, or 2 nights before Charles got married. And he fucked Camilla that night. And on top of that, he met with her in a train because he was getting too obvious. He met with her on a train. Where, you remember that, Meghan Small, where the blonde woman came on a royal train? That was Camilla. Okay. I don't believe for 1 second that Charles wasn't hurt or was pushed because of Diana's infidelity. I don't even understand what the fuck that is. But let me tell you, how can Charles never stop seeing Camilla? He never did. That's the whole point of it. People think, oh, but she had more affairs. They wanted this woman to not have sex, not have a love life, while Charles is having sex with Kanga, the lady in Canada, and Camilla. And sometimes in his marital bed, where he bought the mansion for, or even at Kensington Palace, because the Canadian lady auctioned the letters that Charles wrote to her in 1997. She auctioned the letters in 1997, I believe, because in 1992, she fucked Charles at Kensington Palace and at Highgrove. And the letters were confirmed to have been legitimate. Wow. Okay. And we have Kanga, who was the lady from Australia. She was a blonde aristocrat who was Camilla's biggest threat, because even Princess Diana, when she attended that the Live Aid's concert, she used it wearing a design from Kanga's store because she used to be on a design thing. She actually allied herself with Kanga because she knew that it was Kanga was Camilla's biggest threat. And actually, Charles was deeply in love with Kanga. But then she got cancer and, she died. And because Charles is such a narcissist, he couldn't be around women with illness. But yeah, so I am sick of the bullshit version of the story where Diana was the victim. A victim doesn't try and kill herself. Are you fucking kidding me?
So then what about that thing with her throwing herself down the stairs?
It is true. She admitted it. This is the thing that people don't get. Diana was very candid about her shit. She said, yes, I did it. I threw myself down the stairs because I had no way of getting through this man. And he was telling me everything was in my head. And then years later, after she died, Stuart Higgins publishes his very public apology. And it's even in a book where he admits that Camilla was his source since 1982 and since 1981. But she really got it in 1982 when Diana was like pregnant of William. She started feeding stories. That Diana was unstable. And Diana kept asking Charles, please don't go to the polo game. I need you. Please, these stories are in the press. Who's leaking them? And he kept saying to Diana, you're insane. You're crazy. It's all on your mind. Okay, that's fucking gaslighting. That's why I don't believe Harry's Charles' son. So you know what? I don't know about that because what's his name? James Hewitt. His manager came out and said that actually Diana met him at a polo game before she got married, but they did start being intimate right after Prince William was born, and that James Hewitt reached out to him. I'll send you that link in the interview. That James Hewitt reached out to him before at the end of 1983, asking him that he was having an affair with a high-profile woman. He was worried that he was about to get out if he could help him.
Damn.
So,
okay.
Yes.
Well, because I saw that tweet earlier.
I'll send you that interview.
Yeah.
I do have questions about Prince Harry's being Charles' son. I have to tell you, it's the truth, because this guy is actually very spot on. And James Hewitt, there's even a play in London, Andrew,
Yeah.
There's even a theater play that was based on this, that they used James Hewitt as consultant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
But so then Diana slept around? Like, that's real?
Of course, yeah. She had affairs. Of course. What do you want her to do, Andrew?
Well, no, I'm just asking because my personal view of her has always been that she was the victim, but of course that was before I ever got into this game.
But to me, she was a victim. She was a victim because this is what people, and there's even a documentary, I'll send that to you, where even the royal experts were saying that Prince Charles was such a macho, like chauvinistic pig, that he expected Diana, a very young, beautiful woman, not to have any affairs while he fucked around with at least 3 other women.
Damn. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you that, get your reaction to that. But okay, good.
Well, there you go. What do you think, Meghan? Meghan Small, what do you think about that, though?
I really don't. I don't know too much about that and everything you said. That's why I've been just keeping my mouth shut.
But what do you think? Because I saw what you said to the group chat. I'm not saying that Diane is a saint, but I would have done the same thing. It's like when you are in an abusive relationship and they just expect you to take the punches, and God forbid you hit back. It's like, how dare you hit back? Take the punches. Don't have lovers. Don't have a life. Allow for people to call you crazy. That
this is years ago. Who cares at this point? This is like,
well, the reason I think, Molly, is that I hear this every day, because when I'm on Twitter, you see this, especially with King Charles. So my question always has been, who is the one that cheated first, period? Because whoever cheated first, I mean, we all know that whoever cheated first is the one that's fucked.
It's Charles. He never stopped. I mean, he took Camilla's picture on his honeymoon. But Princess Diana opened one of the books that he brought a bunch of books to read. And when she grabbed one of the books, pictures of him kissing Camilla and all kinds of things. He was wearing the cufflinks where it says CNC, Camilla and Charles. You know what I mean? He was phoning her from the Britannia yacht on his honeymoon, telling him how dreadful things were with his young bride there. And then he wonders why Diana was insecure. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Camilla at their wedding too?
Oh, yes. She was invited. And her husband?
Yeah.
Her husband was on horseback ride, riding them to the cathedral, or from the cathedral. Major, or whatever the fuck is the thing, Andrew Parker Bowles was one of the guards guarding Charles and Diana when they were leaving the St. Paul's Cathedral. And you can see him. There's a documentary where you can see Andrew Parker Bowles on horse right next to Princess Diana's, riding on the carriage, alongside the carriage. And wow. This is why Diana said that when she was walking down the aisle, she looked for Camilla, and then she goes, yep, I saw her right there with that box hat, her son standing on the chair. She was there, and she figured that because Charles promised her that once they got married, that their friendship was going to be over.
Oh, damn. So what about this? Not Charles, but we're moving to current events. What about with this Lady C saying that there has been moves via Invictus Games to get Harry and Meghan out of the foundation? Now, this was an hour ago.
What do you think, Meghan Small?
If they were trying to do that, they wouldn't have chartered a private jet for them to get up there.
Yeah.
If Invictus was doing that, it doesn't cost much to take a commercial flight, first class. You can sit in one of those little like pods. No one will see you, for less than $55,000. If Invictus wanted to kick out Meghan Markle and Harry, they wouldn't be giving in to all their demands and bullshit. Let's be honest.
And not only that, we wouldn't have Johnny Mercer and the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs bidding. And the bidding guys, so that means that they pay millions of dollars to Harry, to the Invictus Foundation, just like they paid over, like you said. Well, how much was it, Meghan Small, from Canada? 31 million?
31 million. Yeah.
So Canada gave the Invictus Games Foundation 31 million. In Meghan Small, do you remember when the Invictus Games Foundation was asking for donations on their page?
Oh yeah, they're still asking for donations on their page.
See, yeah. But the thing to me, the question is, we saw how empty the Dusseldorf games were. So when you're spending 31 million and you know that nobody's going to go see these games, how are you supposed to recoup that money? because nobody
That's what
paid.
I've been asking. I've been asking to see what revenue these games have been bringing into these cities with Harry and Meghan taking over, and I haven't been able to find any documents. I don't think they're bringing any revenue because no one's traveling up to these places to go and see these games. Nobody gives a shit.
Sounds pretty scammy.
You know, look at that, what Rachel even says, Meghan Mole.
Money laundering. Yeah, I believe it.
What is this thing about only 55 participants? What's that about?
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I think that was yesterday. We were talking about it on my stream, but I think there's only 55 participants from like 19 countries that are at this training event. I don't know exactly how many athletes are participating in this event.
That would be that would be less than 3. Well, no, but these are just what is it exactly? It's
I don't understand. Why are you holding a training event in these 2-3 days a year out of the games? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that they said this for them to film? So I gotta ask you something. What is happening with Meghan Markle's Netflix thing? Because now Netflix is so quiet and she signed up with Lemonade. What do you think is happening there?
She got dumped. Let's be honest. She got dumped and they're just letting it quietly go away. That's what they're doing. They're just letting it quietly just fade into the background. That's what they're doing.
Do you think so?
I heard that with this new Invictus CEO that they hired, who is a sportscaster as well or whatever, that Harry is trying to get a TV deal for this Netflix game. So, okay, just like the previous like Netflix deals or like having a TV streaming service to run the games, Harry's going to be making money off of the backs of these veterans once again without them seeing any money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Harry is making deals to have a TV studio stream the games.
And is that 55 number, is that the total next year as well?
I don't know. That's just what it said for the participants who are coming for this 3-day training event. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have a training event so far out before the games.
Look at this, Meghan Small.
I know.
I mean, why is the press saying that? It's just like the press saying that.
Because Meghan Markle is nothing without any royal connection. That's why.
But why is the press going along? Why is the press going along with this?
Money.
They get clicks off of the article.
Money.
And here, Meghan Markle defends. Here we have Meghan Markle defends the people behind the Sussex. What's it called? The Sussex website.
Oh, I read that, and that's, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like she's deflecting blame. When I read that report, she put out a little stupid statement, and she talks about all the people at that Canadian company. And to me, it sounds like she's saying, oh no, they did it. You know, they did it. I trust them and I like their work. So that's why we did it. That's exactly what the statement sounded like to me. And I have it right here. Let me see. She said, quote, "There is a reason I have worked with Ryan and the talented team at Article, which is a company in Canada, for a decade. Their attention to detail, their creativity and care, and the thoughtful approach to design, as well as the user experience. They're not just designers, they're collaborators who elevate your ideas into visual identities. They're a very special company, plus they're Canadian, so I'm a fan." So essentially, she didn't take any blame for the actual website. She made it seem as if, she almost made it seem as if it was their idea. And she only put who elevate your ideas into visual identities. So it's almost like she's saying they did everything else. That it was them. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. It's always shifting the blame. It's always passing the buck onto someone else.
Yeah, and that's a statement. It says it's right from her, from Meghan, in a statement. And when I read that, I knew exactly what she was doing.
You think so? I have it here in the Daily Mail thing. You know, it says there's a reason why I have worked. Yeah, so there's a reason. But then they would only use. You know, this sounds like Omid Scobie when he said, "Oh, I never provided the name of the royal races in any of my versions or whatever book." You know, and this is like he must have. Like Meghan, these people can only get the information from her. They just arrange it in the website. I think, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be right?
Yes.
And you have Harry and Meghan's website is a betrayal of their agreement with the Queen. Do you guys think that?
She's not alive. That's what we talked about earlier, remember? I think that it's a technicality where these people will do this disgusting shit. And then while they're doing it, they'll say to themselves, oh, well, let's not worry about it, because she's not even here anymore. So we don't have to worry about her being offended by it. I mean, they don't care. Dead people can't talk, but they can vote.
Yeah, but Charles is here now. So do you think they're banking on Charles not doing anything?
Yeah. Absolutely.
He hasn't done anything so far.
Yeah. But like I said,
all he's done
Molly,
is given into them.
I want to ask you, Molly, do you think that if Charles was to remove the titles, they would still continue?
They probably would.
See, that's how I feel as well. I truly do. Like, I think the idea of these titles is like, oh, once the headline reads Charles removes the titles, then that means everything is going to stop. And I don't believe that. I mean, you're talking about two people that don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. So I think if the titles were to be removed officially, they wouldn't give a shit. They would still go to a hockey game and they would still put the seal or the logo on their name. And I truly believe that that's who we're dealing with. That's the type of person that we're dealing with.
But they're not using the HRH, and they were told not to use, and they haven't used it yet.
They spelled it out, like Molly said. They spelled it out.
They're using it in their website.
Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, they didn't use the HRH, but they did write out Her Royal Highness. See, it's all this technicality bullshit, so you can get around the rules.
You know the amount of time that they spend on this technicality bullshit? They could actually put the hours that they're spending on all these little scams and stuff into doing some actual fucking work for once in their lives.
What? Meghan Markle doing work? No way.
I wanted to ask you, Megan Small, what do you think is going to happen with this travesty of that's going to give us material? Do you think she'll actually do the work on that lemon thing?
I uploaded a video about it. I've got a video that went live this morning about Lemonada. And you're trying to tell me that you left Spotify, which has such a massive reach, which has over 500 million subscribers. It's got markets in over 180 countries in multiple different languages. And you're gone from Spotify, which is the creme de la creme of where you want to be, down to the bottom of the shit sewer to some place called Lemonada Media. I basically compare it to like Meghan Markle standing at the very top of a super high staircase and then violently falling all the way down and hitting every single fucking step on her way down. Bam, bam, boom, bum, 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 and landing at Lemonada Media.
Mm-hmm.
That like this media group that she left has less than 1 million subscribers. It only has 50 podcasts like under its belt. That's it.
But you also have to remember who they are. Did you see who they are? Did you go to the website to see who they are?
Leftist, super.
Yeah, they're all woke. They're all woke.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that. I think that when you see, like you were saying, Molly, when you see how far she's fallen. If you look at the level of Lemonada, right? Because that's what it's supposed to be. It's either in Spanish or in English, Lemonada. If you look at the level of it, right? It's so far down.
When I say it?
Yeah, it's so
Lemonada.
Far
That's how it sounds. That's how it says Lemonada. That's that. Andrew's on top of it.
And when you look at the level of that platform, right? She probably would have ended up here anyway because of her woke political views. But the fact that she was so high on Spotify. That's why it's such a drop. But Lemonada, that platform, it's nothing but wokeness, the whole thing. So I think that this is it's a win for Lemonada because we're actually talking about them. They literally have less subscribers than we do on these platforms. So when you look at it, this small little piece of shit platform that's all woke, they're getting press. That's probably what they wanted.
But the thing is that in order to hear, so basically Meghan, Spotify, this is the funny thing, because Meghan took her whole archetypes thing and took it over to Lemonada to have them redistribute it, basically, right? She said it's supposed to reach a wider audience, even though it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Spotify, that just tells me that Spotify thought your material was such crap that they allowed you to take your material to another platform. So first of all, I would like to say my sincerest condolences to Lemonada Media, because what is going to happen is that they are going to be markled, and whatever they worked hard for is going to go straight to shit. So my sincerest condolences, ladies, because your business and your brand is about to go to hell, and you just hired a bully to come and work with a bunch of women. So you'll see the real Meghan Markle in action very soon. And let's be honest, we'll start hearing maybe people are going to start quitting from Lemonada Media.
And you know what's really odd about this whole deal is they're going to release her Archetypes podcast. Like
re-release it. Like we didn't hear it the first time and nobody gave a shit.
Why would they put out something that didn't get any views or any listens in the first place, if not because they're such a small trash company platform that, it's more about, oh, Meghan paid us and just to be on the platform? Because if Lemonada Media is what I think it is, it's just a distribution. Like me personally, I produce music, right? So we have what's called DistroKid. And DistroKid, you send them your songs and they'll put it on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, all these platforms. Well, that's what I think Lemonada does. So what she's going to do is she's going to send them all of the files of Archetypes, and they're going to put it on, they'll probably put it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. They'll put it on anywhere that podcasts are available. So I don't really think this is a
well, Andrew,
I don't think it's a signing. I think it's just a service, to be honest with you.
But the thing is that with Spotify, you could listen to people's things for free, but you have ads, right?
Yeah.
Which is how they make their money.
Yeah.
Lemonada Media, in order to listen to Archetypes bullshit, I mean, you got to pay $4.99 for it.
Yeah.
And it's already out there.
Per each podcast, or just
for the subscription?
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's its own platform. Okay. See, so that's.
And let's be honest, so many YouTubers such as myself and others have already reviewed the entire Archetypes mess when it originally came out. And the thing is that I feel like, you know how Spotify fudged the numbers and made it seem like she was beating out Joe Rogan, despite the fact that Joe Rogan just signed a $250 million deal with Spotify, and he can stream his content on any platform, which is what Meghan wanted, but she now doesn't really have. But the thing is that Spotify just like shown us that they're absolute shit. Everything is total shit with them.
Didn't she say she wanted a Rogan deal?
She wanted a Rogan deal. Remember, she was beating out Rogan too.
So stupid.
I think Meghan took these fudged numbers, because remember, they lied about her numbers to this media group and said, look, I won this award. I won the best podcasting. I'm an influential woman. I got all these awards because of my podcast. Remember the People's Choice Awards where the squatties could call in to vote so that she could win that award? She probably took it over to Lemonada Media and said, look, I got all these accolades from Archetypes, my podcast. It did this well. And this media company is probably looking at it like, oh, it would be nice if we get an award or something from her podcast. Then we'd really get put on the map.
And what's even worse, Molly, is they have Elaine from Seinfeld. Okay,
Yeah.
that platform, it's not like they have nobodies. They do have some nobodies, but they have Elaine from Seinfeld. They have Samantha Bee, even though she's feminist, toxic trash. And they have Sarah Silverman. You know, these names they're not big, but they're also not little. So then you look at it and somebody like Meghan Markle, it's just another thing where she doesn't belong there, but she's still getting the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's riding those coattails too, because the way they were advertising is what Meghan Markle is now on Lemonada Media with Sarah B and blah blah blah, and it's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, have you seen the comments are brutal? You'll find out shortly the limits of Meghan's talent. Couldn't work with Spotify. Netflix is on life support. Drop friend were no longer useful. Staff quitting all the time. Falling out with both sides of family. Enjoy suing other years. Somehow you're going to make this a success. You will be Markle. She's such a fraud, you know. Next up
it literally took Meghan Markle nearly 3 years to put out content with Spotify. And that was with 26 producers doing the work for her. I highly doubt she's got 26 producers. So let's see what kind of trivial bullshit or plagiarized bullshit she comes out with.
Which is even more sad because you think about it, they offered her $20 million. I mean, could you imagine what any three of us, what we would do if Spotify offered us 20 million? Fuck. Oh my God. I'll be like, okay, well, let's do everything.
Andrew, you would definitely streak for the executives naked if they gave you $20 million.
Hey, but you know what the problem is that with all of this, guys, that Spotify is not calling out the lies she puts on her website because they were complicit with her. They massage the numbers to.
Well, yeah, but that'll also look bad on their part because they're calling out individuals. You know,
but they're calling them out because that narrative that Meghan put on her website about being number one came directly from Spotify. They knew that they were massaging the numbers. They knew that they were doing that. So it would look odd that now they come out and say, oh, well, actually, we lied about it, because then they will lose trust from the people when they say,
that's exactly why they did. It affects their own brand. Hey, Paul, I got to finish up already. I got somewhere to be.
Me too. We have to get going, guys. But thank you very much. And hopefully, Meghan Small, you will do a live, sweetie, so we can come and wish you a happy birthday.
I'll let you guys know. I'll definitely let you guys know.
Thanks for coming, guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Y'all stay safe out there.